kinds of books today, alright? Ones you can learn and read about. You go to the library or when you come over and get someone to read them. Alright, so I was telling you earlier, we got books about history, Laura Ingalls Wilder and the Little House on the Prairie. You go back and learn about the Old West and living on the cabin and out there. And then some more about dragons and castles and fairy tales and all that magical stuff. And then the Briar Rabbit kind with the folk tales. You learn about those too. You know about the animals talking and all kinds of funny stuff and all that you like. So we'll get you to know all about them, and then you can check them out next time you're at the library or when you're listening to the reading story time there. You'll know what kind of book you're listening to.
Yeah, they don't always have those.
Well, you'll see. Alright, so first one we got is fairy tales. So fairy tales are kind of, they're made up story. They got elves, princesses, dragons, fairies, all kinds of other magical creatures. Usually in the kind of Disney movies you like to watch. So those are the ones that come from that. They always have a happy ending. You know about that. And it ends up being really good. And they're just.
Unless they're like pretty scary.
They can be a little scary sometimes. So you got those. So one of those would be Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
That was fun.
That's a fairy tale. Jack and the Beanstalk. You know about that one. And other ones. Okay. Next one you can read is Tall Tales. So those are like Paul Bunyan, John Henry, really big guy with his axe and blue ox, Paul Bunyan. They're a little made up and hard to believe, but they're usually about people doing big stuff, and they're kind of set in the past a little bit sometimes too.
He's bigger than the trees.
Yeah, he's really big. That's a tall tale there. So they're kind of a little funny too. So you read those. Next kind is a fable. That teaches you a lesson about right and wrong. They usually got animals talking the whole time, and they kind of tell the story with the animals talking. So, like Aesop here, you know, there's some of his, like the lion and the mouse. The lion gets the thing stuck in his paw, and the mouse comes takes it out for him. That would be a fable. You learn about helping each other and stuff. So, and then also the boy who cried wolf. You might have that one before, yeah.
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah, that's another fable then. Okay, next one is historical fiction. That's the one that's told by the past, and that's from somebody that lived at the time, or is writing about someone who lived at the time. They tell a story about what life was when they were alive. So, be from way back, 100 years ago, 200 years ago, however long ago, and wherever at, and kind of read about what they thought.
I read that one too.
There's a lot of those kind of Magic Treehouse books. They go all over the time, history, and learn about stuff. So those are usually chapter books. You got a lot of different stuff in there. So that's an example of that. And then the informational ones. These are the ones like your school books. Actually got stuff you learn about, like math and science, and here you got ones about animals. Learn about different kinds of animals. So those are all real, and you get to learn about each kind of subject from those. They're not made up, so there's something that you go to school pretty much. Then you got biographies and autobiographies. So those are from whoever a person wants to write about their own life, or someone writes about someone else's life, real life person, and you go read about it. Yep, like the Saint books, those would be one of them. You got one of Helen Keller here, you might want to read. Anne Frank.
We still have that one.
Yep.
No, I believe.
Yeah. So exactly what it is. So you can learn about all their lives. If they wrote it, someone else wrote about them. But either way, it's a good one. And the last one is poetry kind of books. So it'd be anyone nursery rhymes, any Dr. Seuss books, anything with a bunch of rhymes in that you can read through. You got a lot of pictures usually, and they're really fun to read, I think. So there's plenty of those. All right. That's all the different types that you need to know about, I think. We're going to have a little quiz now. And you can see if you can guess what kind of book that we went through.
This way.
So what do you think that is?
Where am I?
Of the ones we talked about. That'd be a fairy tale, a fable, historical fiction, an informational book, a rhyming book. Which one?
Fairy tale.
Oh, is that talking animals? And Friar Robert's supposed to teach you a lesson about stuff every time, remember? So
Yeah, but he's funny.
he is pretty funny. That's part of it.
Yeah, you should not fall for it.
So what do you think? Fairy tale, fable, information book? What seems most likely to you to be? Fairy tales, remember, it's usually more the magical castles and princesses and stuff. So it's a little off of this, but it's close. What do you think?
It's once the animal start all talking.
Talking animals in it. What do we say that was usually? Remember the Aesop ones? With the lion and stuff? Remember what kind that was? Alright, well, it's a fable, okay? Because it's got this talking animals in, and there's a lesson about good and bad, so it's like Aesop. Friar Rabbit's just like Aesop on that. Alright, next one. It's going to show good. Princess and the Frog. What would that probably be?
That's
It's in all the magical ones. It's a fairy tale, yep. Okay, and then we were just talking about this when we first started. Little House on the Prairie. The old times. Back when Laura's telling you about it. What would that be? Way back. Said long ago. Said that one. 100, 200 years ago. Remember we were talking about that? Starts with H. History, yeah. Full fiction. That's the one. Alright, two more. Alright, it's a math book. Probably something like that. So if it's a school book and you're learning, what kind of book is that? It's got stuff you need to learn about in it. Usually not much fun. Starts with an I.
so what?
Informational. Get that one now. Your school books, that's what those are. Alright, last one. Your favorite of a good night moon.
I do not like good night. Maybe Josie does, but I do not.
Well, what do you think it is? Good night moon? It's got a lot of rhyming words in it, remember?
Green thing.
Poem. Yep. Book. Okay. Not too bad.